just as distracted as before. That's okay. That's what makes this a practice. Just like the asana, the shapes, the physical movement limb of yoga is a practice. So observe what shifted and honor that. Now move into some stretches for the neck area, releasing some tension, creating a little bit of space and mobility. Again, if you have a strap, you might want to keep it on hand as we move down towards the shoulders, but we'll start focusing on that neck. Sitting up nice and tall, take a deep, full breath in. As you exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Lots of options here. You can hang out right here. Might be feeling this big stretch across the left side of your neck. If you want a little more, you can swim those left fingertips out to the side. If that's feeling okay, you want a little more, you might take a flex into that left wrist, like you're pushing your palm into the ground. Talk to the hand. Last option, you might take right hand and just gently rest it. You're not pulling down on the head. You're just allowing it to add to what gravity has to work with. You can play with drawing that arm, left arm up a little bit and then down towards the hip a little. Just noticing how that movement of the shoulder of the arm changes the intensity or location of the stretch. One position isn't better or more intense than the other, they're just different. What do you notice? What feels good? Where do you want to hang out in stillness? You decide. Wherever you are, take a deep, full breath in. Big sigh out. Inhaling up to center. Maybe hands to knees. Can you pause between sides? Close your eyes. This integration, this observation is that process of building body awareness. How does your left side of your neck feel? How does your right side of your neck feel? Nice and tall, big breath in. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Find your variation. You can hang out right here, just dropping the ear to the shoulder. You can send right fingertips out to the side. Or you can take that flex through your palm, press your hand down towards the earth. Maybe left hand rests on the temple, maybe not. You don't have to take the same variation side to side. We don't wear and use our muscles symmetrically, so tension lands differently in them side to side. What do you need? Breathe. Can you make it a full belly breath instead of breathing into this upper chest cavity? Go a little lower. Soften the right shoulder away from the ear with each breath. Big breath in. And sigh it out. Releasing that effort, we come back to center. Might roll the shoulders out. Take your gaze over to the left, to the right. Just noticing how range of motion feels side to side. And next time your gaze is over to the right, pause. Let your chin fall towards your collarbone. You drop left shoulder down, pull right shoulder blade down the back. Sweep the chin through center, look down for a moment. And then over to the left. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, both shoulder blades pull down the back. Inhale back, look down to your legs. Take your hands, you can again rest them gently on the back of your head if that feels okay, fingers interlaced. Just allow a little rounding into your spine, a gentle downward tug with the hands to find this stretch through the mid-back, the suboccipital area at the base of your skull. And you breathe. Feel the belly lift. Feel the shoulders shift. Sigh it out, maybe round just a little more. And we'll inhale. Oof, coming back up to a seated position. I always feel like I gotta wiggle it out after that. Can roll the shoulders again. Maybe close your eyes. Build that body awareness. How does the left side feel? How does the right side feel? If you had to say what side is tenser, what would you say? We're going to play with that platysma pin and stretch. Our platysma, remember, is our monster muscle down the front of our neck. If you make a really attractive monster face, you have to make the noise too. You probably feel it fire up underneath your fingertips. Excellent monster face, Michelle. Take your left hand to underneath your right collarbone. I like to place my hand directly on the skin. You can place it on top of your shirt if you prefer. Right hand plants on top. We're pressing the bottom hand into the skin and we're using the top hand to pull it down. So you can try that. Left hand presses down, right hand pulls the skin down. From here, take your gaze over to the left. Maybe you lift your chin ever so slightly. As you do, you'll feel that strain down the platysma where you're stretching this muscle that can be hard to target with specific mobility exercises. Left hand presses down, deep breath in. Lift your chin, right hand pulls down. Maybe you open and close the jaw a few times. Make your monster face. And notice how that changes the stretch. If it doesn't feel good to open and close the jaws, it feels a bit too intense, that's okay. You can also send your gaze up to the top left corner of your room. Notice how that shifts the experience. Let's take one more breath here. And back through center. Whew. Hands relax. Close your eyes. Ooh, I feel like I have the urge to lean to the left and also float a little. Do you notice a difference side to side? Open and close your jaw. How does movement feel? You might shift your jaw left and right. And back to center. We'll take our right hand underneath your left collarbone, press it in place. Left palm presses down on top. Rotate your gaze all the way over to the right. Lift your chin. I'm pulling down with this bottom hand. Pressing down with the bottom hand. Top hand is pulling the skin down. Lift your chin. Maybe you open and close the jaw a few times. The more you rotate that jaw to your right shoulder, the more you lift it, the more you peek those eyes up to the top right corner of the room, the more intense that sensation down the side of your neck is going to be. So play with it. More intensity isn't always better. Just because you added the open and close of the jaw on the right side doesn't mean you're going to add, or on the left side, doesn't mean you'll add it here. Take one more breath in, finding either movement or stillness. And coming back to center. Yeah, if you have that urge to shrug out the shoulders, do that. Do you have the urge to rotate the head? Do that. Maybe you're drawing circles with the chin and the nose. We're honoring those intuitive movements, those movements your body asks you for when we come out of really intense, really precise work. Then you might take your hands just back to the sides of the throat. You can find that hinge of your jaw and then bring them down. We're sliding them down along that line of the platysma on each side. Just gentle pressure. I've got my index finger and thumb. When you reach your collarbones, go back up. Index finger and middle finger on the jaw. We pull down the side of the neck. Gentle, slow. If one spot feels really good, you're welcome to hang out right there. Nice. And one more time, top. Slide all the way down. And when you're ready, we'll reach down and grab onto our strap. If you don't have a strap at home, you could use a shirt. I've held onto 2 shirt sleeves, a blanket, a scarf, a tea towel. What you want is arms a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart. We're moving into our shoulder flossing. This is a mobility exercise to build some strength and range of motion in the shoulders. Palms are facing down towards the earth. You can start with hands about shoulder distance apart and then pull them out a little bit wider. Our goal here is to keep our elbows straight as we reach the arms up and overhead. So if you have to bend the elbows or tuck one elbow and then the other to get the strap behind you, your hands are in a little bit too close. So bring them out a little further. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Give yourself a moment to breathe. Side out. And then we'll inhale up and through the shoulder flossing exercise. Arms are long as the hands reach behind you. Maybe strap taps against the back, maybe not. Can you keep the elbows long? If it feels really easeful, you might walk your hands in just a centimeter or two on each side. Can you feel the front of your shoulders, the back and top of your shoulders as you move through this motion? This one doesn't look like a lot. If you have a history of shoulder injury, it might not be an exercise for you, and that's okay. You can do this without the strap, or if you've got one arm that can rotate but not the other, just focus on that arm. We're exploring range of motion with a little bit of tension between your hands. So think palms pulling the strap apart. Let's do one more. Next time you reach the strap behind your head in that sort of stickiest, that most challenging spot, I want you just to pause there. Woo. And breathe. Drop your rib cage down, curl the hips slightly towards the ribs, find a core engagement. We'll rotate our chest a little bit. Look to the left. Oh, I've got a cat behind me. Hey, cat. Back through center and over to the right. He brought me his toy. It's very cute. Back through center, over to the left, and one more time through center and over to the right. We'll bring the strap up and overhead and set it down. Woo! Top of my shoulders feels a little spicy. Again, you might close the eyes down. You notice how that area from the top of your shoulders to the crown of your head feels. Maybe you can lengthen the cervical spine, the back of your neck, by tucking your chin ever so slightly. Feel that space. Can you maintain that height? Plant your right hand down, lift your left arm up and overhead, find a side bend, deep full breath into the side body. Keep your left hip pressing, left sits bone pressing down into the earth. Inhale. Exhale, you might hinge just a little bit more. And we'll switch sides. Left hand plants down. Deep breath in, get tall through your spine. Right sits bone stays grounding into your mat as we fold. It doesn't need to be a big motion. But maybe you use your breath. Inhale, reach your right elbow, your right shoulder away from your hip. Exhale, maybe a teeny bit more of a bend. Harvey's playing with my strap now. Up through center. Sit up nice and tall. Again, deep, full breath in. Sigh it out. You notice how your upper body feels. Maybe a little more space. We'll close this little stretching sequence with a twist. Left hand to your right thigh. Right hand plants behind. You can really use this back hand as a kickstand. Take a breath in as you push down into that hand, sit up taller. As you exhale, think right rib cage pulls back. Maybe right shoulder pulls back. Maybe gaze goes towards right shoulder. Look behind you. But if it doesn't feel good, don't move the gaze. You can use left hand against your thigh as a little anchor. Press palm into thigh and see what happens. Do you have a little bit more room to rotate? Inhale, both arms sweep up and overhead. Plant your hands next to your thigh. Tuck your chin, push into the earth. And feel this rounding in your back, space between your shoulder blades. Inhale back to center. Again, you might notice right rib cage, right side of your body versus left. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, we twist the other way. Right hand, left thigh. Maybe that left hand behind you is your little kickstand. Push into the ground as you breathe and get taller. Exhale, left rib cage pulls back. Maybe left shoulder, maybe gaze follows. Are you holding your breath? Got you. Are you clenching your jaw? Where can we create space? Inhale, hands come up through heart or through over and outside the right thigh. Plant them on the ground, tuck your chin around your spine, look down to your thumbs. And back through center. Once again, sit up nice and tall, maybe close the eyes down. How does the spine feel? How does your posture feel? Building that skill of noticing how the breath, how the movement lands in our body. Deep, full breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. Nice work. I'm going to play a little bit with